We are live. We are live. What's going on, everybody, man? After injury fun weekend, injury fun is in the books, man. What an exciting, a lot of good games there was for injury fun weekend. That's for sure. Shout out to all the coaches out there, all the football players, that was out there showing out, proving, getting it done on the field, earning your starting positions. Congratulations to you all the new coaches out there. Congratulations to you guys, stepping up on the field, getting it done. Shout out to the people that help us make this possible, man. If you're looking for a gym that, a coach that got to the D1 level, you got to check out Emerson Kilgore over at 401 Strength and Fitness. Doing good things over there. Shout out to Home Smart Professionals. Appreciate everything. But yeah, injury fun games are over. They're in the books. Are we getting away from the injury fund? That's something that I think we should talk about, because any teams that played in Rhode Island this weekend, your games was just preseason games. They don't count towards your regular standards. But teams that played out of state, let's say Westerly played a game up in Scituate for the Scituate Sailors. They played basically a Division One team up there. When Westerly went to Scituate, they played a Division One team, which actually counted as a super division game. So if Westerly would have won that game, they would have came home with like 16 points. That's like winning 4 Division Two games on the road. And we see a lot of programs taking it on the road for injury fun weekend. And are we getting away from the injury fun games? Because we all know the injury fun weekend, that game is basically, helps out players, helps out coaches, referees that get hurt during the season. But now we got the injury fun games in the books. We're going to get on to the regular season. But the injury fund isn't just about warm-ups. It's not about scrimmages. I mean, it's really a tradition, right? For decades, the preseason matchups, they raise money to support players who suffer injuries during the season, right? Football with a purpose, right? A chance for teams to go out there and test the waters, build chemistries, and most important, support one another beyond the scoreboard. I mean, this year, the injury fund's given us some early fireworks. We've seen some great freshman talent to senior leaders, reminding us why we watched the game. But now it's time to lock in. But I got to ask, these teams playing out of state, coming away from the injury fund, you play out of state, your game's counted. Like I said, Westerly versus Scituate Sailors, not to be confused with the Spartans in Rhode Island. Westerly traveled out to Scituate, Massachusetts, and if they would have won that game, they would have came out of that with like 16 points. But they didn't. They lost that game 29-33. And Scituate Spartans, like if you look up nationally ranked teams, Westerly's like in the 3,000s. Sorry about that. Westerly's in like the 3,000s. And I totally lost my. Hang on. Yeah, Westerly's like in like the 3,000s. They did not win that game, but it's not a total loss, because it's what you get. You see a lot of these teams playing up a division, playing Division 1 programs. A Division 3 program might be playing Division 2. But when you play up, you're going to get them points. But when you lose the games, now Scituate Sailors are going to go on to probably have a very successful season. Now, as they do, Westerly on the back end is going to get what's called opponent win percentage. So it's not a total loss. And that's why last season you see Pilgrim played up a lot. They played, I think, Portsmouth. Teams played Burrillville. So if you lose them games against them higher divisional teams, you get in the back end, you get opponent win percentage points. And it ends up working out for a lot of teams, as we seen last season, the end of the Division One season. You seen Cumberland moving around. You seen North Kingston, who was going to get that number 4 spot. And I think this year you're going to see that in Division Two. I think Division Two is going to be a very competitive division. You're going to see fireworks all season. Let's go to the last game of the regular season in Division Two, West Warwick and Westerly. Two teams that should be battling out at the top of that Division Two. West Warwick, led by Coach Penton, who really has not upset us being a West Warwick Wizard. You know, back-to-back Super Bowls, making another run, building a great program. Is South Kingston going to be in the mix? I mean, South Kingston lost a lot of kids. They graduated a lot, and we see that hurts. But now we got the regular season is here. The standings are going to matter. The rivalries are heating up. And every Friday night under the lights is going to be a step closer to playoffs. Let's not kid ourselves. Division One all the way down. Every team's journey to November starts now. But we have teams like Bishop Hendricken, LaSalle, Wesley Bulldogs, Pilgrim Patriots. Them teams, their regular season began already. Pilgrim wins. So depending, I got to look at the RPI, but depending where Seekonk is, Pilgrim is going to get points for winning that game. We've seen teams with a better record. We've seen teams with a better divisional record, but they didn't have a better RPI percentage. So the team with the better RPI percentage with a worse record jumps them in the standings. We've seen some good matchups this weekend, some that could set the tone for the entire season. There has definitely been statement games. We're going to see some revenge tours. Are there going to be some rising stars this season ready to shine? I mean, hell, I'm excited about coming into the regular season. Over the next few weeks, come on, we're going to break down some of the top games, some of the top performances, interview coaches, players, and we always keep you updated with scores, stats, stories from around the state, whether they're great stories or whether they're negative stories. I mean, we always going to bring you the BS because I think we have to have transparency. So listen, whether you're a proud parent, former player, or just someone who loves a good underdog story, man, stay locked in this season because I think Rhode Island high school football is back and it's going to be lit. It's definitely going to be lit. But, man, shout out to everybody, man. I want to thank everyone that helps us make it possible, man. But if you're definitely looking to buy a home, you know, Home Smart Professionals, Kathy Foisey, you know, you have to give her a call.
Are you dreaming of the perfect home? Your dream home doesn't have to be just a dream. Whether you're looking to buy or sell, Kathy Foisey from HomeSmart Professionals Real Estate is here to make it a reality. Expertise in Rhode Island and Massachusetts, Kathy is ready to guide you every step of the way. Reach out today at 401-486-6587 or email kfoisey1@gmail.com.
Big shout out to Kay Foisey, you know, give her a call. Big shout out to Emerson Kilgore, 401 Strength and Fitness on the 400 block. You know, I got some breaking news about Emerson. Emerson, we will not see Emerson officiating this season. So we all want to, Emerson is having, I think, some work done to his knees. You know, got to keep the body in shape. But we're all gonna wish Emerson a speedy recovery. You know, prayers as he goes into his this season. So shout out to Emerson Kilgore, and we wish you a speedy recovery. Can't wait to see you back on the field next season. But there's a good note to that because we're definitely gonna hear Emerson up on the podcast again. Big shout out to my man Najee Barrows last night. UMass Dartmouth playing Salve Regina. Najee's that's when Najee went to school. But big shout out to Najee Barrows. I seen the Melon from Woonsocket High School. Shout out to Melon, one of Charlie B-Ball's studs, throw a beautiful pass for a touchdown up there at UMass.
Ready to dominate the field? Join Beast Coast Football Factory. Led by top coach Najee Barros, we elevate your game at all levels. What we offer: expert training, unique techniques and drills, affordable rates, $25 per session, $40 for two. Don't miss your chance to work with the best. Contact Beast Coast Football Factory today to schedule your session and level up your game. Beast Coast Football Factory is a proud sponsor of Can We Keep It Real podcast.
And check this out. I just heard we're going to hear from Kyle Green today, former Bishop Hendricken. Then he went to URI, transferred over to Cortland, then transferred over to UMass Dartmouth, where he finished out his collegiate career. But we're going to talk to Kyle Green. Oh, that's right. D. Kyle Green. Shout out to Kyle Green. We're going to talk to him in just a little while. It's going to be a good show. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody, man. It's definitely going to be a good show today. We're going to talk to Cliff Thornton live up at Gillette Place at the New England Patriots game. So we're going to shout out to him. 1 second. Cliff Thornton's live up at Gillette for the Raiders, New England Patriots opening day. We're going to talk to him live. Kyle Green, we're going to talk to Kyle. What's going on with him? Since he left UMass Dartmouth, what he has going on. I think you're really going to like what Kyle has going on, but just doing a few things here. Get out of here. Let's see. Yep, I'm just trying to get something uploaded here. Just stand by. Them videos. All right, hang on. Yes, we're going to talk to Kyle Green. We're going to talk to Cliff Thornton. Going to be a good show. Okay, let's see. Add file. Bang. And we're going to talk about some of these Rhode Island high school football games that went on. Let's see if this is where. Oh, good. This is going to work. Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, shit. Look at that. We start talking about the EWG. We're going to have the former EWG coach, Raider Nation podcast, Cliff Thornton, live from Gillette, is it? Hang on, let me get this down. What's up, coach?
Hey, what's going on? About to get wet. It's pouring. Absolutely pouring out here. I don't think this is a good decision.
Nah, what a better day to go to a game than a rain game. First game man. From the snow game. Remember? I'm sure you remember the snow game. Patriots, Raiders, man. Let's talk, man. You must be excited going to see the Raiders.
I'm tickled silly. I don't know why you had to bring up the snow game. You break my heart all the time. Um, no, I'm excited. If able to get tickets, we're gonna go. I met a few people out here. Good thing that they have the tents. They were here hours before me. I just jumped in the car. I'm a little wet. It's gonna get bad. It's bad out here.
Did you prepare for the weather? Like, do you have rain gear?
I got a poncho.
A
that I
poncho.
bought.
You got a
Yeah,
poncho.
that's about it. What am I gonna
You got a
do?
$3 poncho.
That's all I got. Let's go. It's rain. What are you gonna do?
You know,
It's
so
crazy.
are you gonna caress the Tom Brady statue?
I'm kind of torn. I want to throw something at it, but now he's a
Yeah,
Raider,
come
so
on.
you
You're
know.
supposed to be a
But
Jets
I already
fan.
seen it. Yeah, I
Yeah,
already seen it.
absolutely.
So I went by and saw it already. So we're here. A lot of people. It's unfortunate. It's raining, but we're gonna have some fun. I don't know how long I'm gonna stay because once it gets pouring, and the Raiders should win, so I'm good.
Oh wow,
Um,
that you're talking disrespect here.
Just listen, I'm walking in, got my Raider hat, I got my Raiders shirt. I ain't afraid of New England Patriot
Yeah, you
fans.
didn't go
Forget
too
about
crazy though. You didn't go too crazy with the Raider gear.
it. Nah, nah, I'm probably gonna have to buy a whole bunch of beers for people around me, but
But
it's
in this
it's not
area,
too bad.
we're in a heavy Raider cult. Like there is a lot of Raider fans all over the place.
So there's actually a social club down in Providence that they're doing some big thing. I may swing by there. I got invited to just to show up. I'm gonna do the podcast from there a little bit, and then after that I got people coming over for tonight's game. So yeah, there's a lot of Raider fans in Rhode Island.
So it might be a late AM stop for work tomorrow.
They might be sick.
You got a busy day. You got a busy day today. So how's the atmosphere up there? Like with a rain game?
No, it's nothing's changed. There's tents everywhere, people grilling. No, it's just like a normal day with tents. That's it. So everybody's
Diehard
yeah.
football fans.
Oh, absolutely. They're putting tents together, and there's 2 rows. It's nothing but tents. So people put them together and they grilling. So it's not bad. Who's got the sausage and peppers and all that fun stuff?
And it's nice because you walk down, where they have all the tailgate and people are inviting you in. Hey, you want something to eat? It's very the
all
only
the
time you
time.
don't see that is a Buffalo game, but but
No.
you usually see a lot of people sharing the love, man.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's like, come on in, grab a bite to eat. Here's a drink. So I got a cooler. We did a little bit. We're gonna do a little bit, but the timing was off, so we couldn't get here too early. But we're just we got here. We parked in the general admission, which I'm surprised. And I was able to run into some friends, so it was pretty good. I'm predicting the Raiders are gonna win. So
All right, give us a Raiders update. Like what's going on with the Raiders? What do you like going into this season? What don't you like?
I like that we got a new head coach who's experienced. So for the past few years we have unexperienced coaches, but even though they were good, just unexperienced. So Pete Carroll is a winning football coach. So bringing in Geno Smith, another veteran guy. We got a good rookie running back. Max Crosby's gonna be a beast. Secondary is probably the most questionable part, but we got a good wide receiver core. Our tight ends are probably best in the league. So it's going to be interesting to see if they can put it all together. And if so, we'll be here. So.
And do you expect the Raiders to have longevity with this lineup that they have? Will they stick around in this free agent culture?
I'm hoping so. I'm hoping that, they keep the coach for a little while instead of just doing what they normally do. Get rid of them in a couple of years. You need what do you call it? You need longevity with coaches and players. So we'll just have to see how that works out.
Now flip it over. Oh shit! As soon as I said flip it over, the camera went crazy.
Yeah.
Flip it over to the Patriots. Go ahead if you want to fix your camera. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got it. It's
You know
all
what
set.
I mean? You want me? All right. Flip it over to the Patriots. Bob Kraft spending a record crazy amount of money, bringing in Mike Vrabel. He even got punched in the face this year by one of his players.
I go to act right.
I gotta like what Mike Vrabel is doing. What do you think for Patriot fans? What do you think that their season is gonna be like?
They're going to be exciting. You know, you bring in Mike Vrabel, another experienced head coach. You bring back Josh McDaniels. Obviously, he's not a head coach, but he's a pretty good offensive coordinator. He's got another young, good wide receiver. I mean, quarterback in Drake May. So there's a lot of positives in New England. If they stuck with last year's coaching staff, I don't think they would have done well. But going with the experience and stuff like that is good for them.
Nice. Now we're gonna jump over to have you watched much of injury weekend, high school football? It's crazy. We already got kind of a little controversy starting the season with the injury fund games, but have you watched many injury fund games?
No, but I get a lot of coaches around the league I spoke with, and I think the biggest surprise was Situate over Westerly. I did not see that at all. When soccer got completely obliterated, so a
Well,
little shocked.
Westerly traveled. Well, that was I think didn't Westerly travel out to no, that was the no, you're mistaken. That's a Massachusetts Situate team, Situate Spartans. I
Oh,
mean Situate
I,
Sailors.
I was shocked. I saw that this morning. I'm like, oh my God. So I was
Yeah,
wrong
no,
about that one
that
because that
game,
that
I'll talk
completely shocked
about
me.
that. Injury fund weekend, a lot of people know throughout the years it was to play one on one around the league and but now teams are traveling out of state, which that game counts as a regular season game for them. Wesley played a high caliber Division 1 team, which would have been counted as a super division team because they're a very good program. So Wesley
I'll read out.
they lost that game 33-29, so but yeah, that was but I think the league is worried now that teams Blake Simpson did it. He traveled to Seekonk. He played an out of state team. So now you get a head start on your RPI. So now teams that you started this week, now teams will start their regular season next week. And I
Yeah.
think the league is worried about that a lot of teams are going to say, wait a minute, we can get a head start. So if Wesley would have won that game, they would have came out the gate with 16 points, which is equivalent to 4 games, to winning 4 divisional games.
Yeah,
But
that's
being on
crazy.
the losing
Stick,
end, they still get opponent win percentage.
uh, stick to winning and losing. That always works.
Yep.
But
Well, we know Coach Thornton
anyway,
has to go. He has people
yeah,
waiting in
yeah.
the rain that want to get in the car. They're like, it's wet. He's like, wait a minute. This is important business.
Now we're heading into the stadium now. I'll periodically shoot you a text and let you know what's going on. If you're live at any point, let me know. I'll go live inside.
All right, Coach. Thank you.
All right, have a good one, guys.
All right. There we go. We had Cliff Fulton up there. Patriot plays. He said it's a wet one up there. We're gonna have Kyle Green on. I just sent Kyle Green the inbox, man. Can't wait to talk about, Kyle Green, international ball competition, the mindset going into trying to get signed to a UFL arena team, what you need to do. Kyle Green formerly came off the UMass Darthmouth squad last season. I've seen a lot of players graduate, but big shout outs, but while we wait for Kyle Green, I wanted to check out some of the Rhode Island high school football, some of the games we had on yesterday, or even some of Thursday night. LaSalle's another team who, had an out of state team play 22-15. A lot of big people see that Westerly Situate game and they're like, whoa. They're like, whoa. But yeah, no, that was a Massachusetts Situate Sailors. Very, very good program. But Coventry starts off 0-1. But they don't even start off 0-1. It's preseason. Forgive me. Cranston West gets the win over them. I think it was a very tough game. Coventry is going back with the original quarterback, Jones. He gets the start. Cranston West wins that one 35-12. Then we have LaSalle Academy, man, starting the season off. Now, Bishop Hendricken got the win, so I'm going to look up in the RPIs and see who's ahead, and it depends based on how good the other team was in the power rankings. So we're gonna go over there and check that out. But LaSalle wins that game 22-15. A lot of excitement coming out of LaSalle Academy with Coach Nadim Robinson over there, with the wide receiver group. And Nadim, he'll get them pumped up all the time. My bad, keep getting some messages. Nadim will get them pumped up all the time. Even Thursday night games, we kicked it off with Mount Hope and Moses Brown. They got it rocking. Mount Hope beat Moses Brown 10-0. I heard Mount Hope dominated Moses Brown. And with a Coach Perry team, Lorenzo Perry, see what happens with that. But we're going to get Kyle Green up in here. Shout out to Kyle Green. Let me get this down. What's up, Kyle? How we doing?
Hey, Mike. How's everything, man? I appreciate you having me on today.
All right, not bad. Give me 1 minute, man. Appreciate everything you're doing, man. International ball, what's going on with that? You sign into a UFL team, arena team, or you're trying to get signed, right?
Yeah, I'm definitely trying to get signed. The whole point of playing internationally is right now just to obviously get quality film. But keep doing what I love and just keep playing the game, keep making a little cash doing it. So it's definitely been a blessing. You know what I'm saying? But obviously, I'm trying to keep climbing that ladder. So I just got to keep working hard, keep praying hard, and I know God's going to meet me halfway. So.
How's the quality of the competition from coming from college? You played at a high level at UMass, and then now you're going up to Arena League UFL.
Oh, it's definitely a step up from college. You know what I mean? It's everybody's bigger, stronger, and faster, and it's definitely way more intense level of competition just because, you know what I'm saying? A lot of these guys were former NFL players. Like we have former NFL players on our team, 3 former UFL players on our team, and we played the Canada team, and they had a bunch of CFL free agents on their team that were former CFL guys that ended up falling off and still trying to climb back up in the ranks. So the competition is definitely, way more intense than college ever was. Everybody's bigger, stronger, faster, and everybody hits just a little harder because, everybody's trying to, get back to where they once was, so it's definitely a step up from college, put it like that.
The skills on the field, it's not about that. It's about resilience, determination, and the relentless pursuit to be great to want to play on any pro team.
Mm-hmm. No, definitely. It's like it's like a constant climb. You know what I'm saying? It's constantly pushing yourself, constantly, want to sharpen your skills and that iron sharpens iron. Like the last man standing is going to get the prize, at the end of the day, get the gold. So, it's all about mentally staying resilient, staying prayed up, chest up, eyes up.
Absolutely. Not for sure, Yeah, we've been following your journey for a long time.
Years now, I did all the work you do with covering Rhode Island sports, covering New England sports, and I definitely appreciate you having me on today, man. It's always a blessing.
No, I appreciate it. I always follow you, reach out to you. I appreciate everything you go through, all the trials and tribulations. I know your grandfather, you lost your grandfather, and that was tough. You know what I mean? What do you do going forward to keep your mindset sharp to live your dream and make like guys like your grandfather happy?
I just work extremely hard every single day. Like, when I know that I'm doing the best that I can do every single day and I'm working the hardest I can do every single day, I know that, my grandfather and all my other ancestors looking down on me, knowing that I'm doing everything I can possibly do to become successful, on and off the field. Praying hard every day, like I said, working as hard as I possibly can every day, knowing that, he's looking down on me and he's extremely proud of everything I'm doing. And, that I just really kind of just satisfy myself with hard work and then, always kind of putting myself in a situation to keep chasing something bigger, than myself, keep chasing something bigger than, anything that I could believe is possible. I just kind of dream big and try to chase it, on and off the field, football wise, financial wise, and, keep honoring him through achievement. So really is like, when you lose a loved one, your hands are tied. You can't bring him back as much as you want to, but, you can start putting that sadness and pain towards other things, towards achieving things. And, when I come to terms with everything, I'll be, in a better situation, in life. So, that's really it. Just working extremely hard, praying extremely hard, and, knowing that he's looking down on me and he's extremely proud of all the work that I put in, the stress, the work, the hard work, the sweat, the blood, the soreness, everything, he'd be extremely proud of, how much harder I've worked since he's been gone, which is about a year next month, which is great. But when you're working hard and constantly chasing things, it flies by,
Well, the days are long, the years are short, is how I would say it. Absolutely.
No,
But
definitely.
how have you been training now to get ready for the next level? What have you been doing differently?
What I've been doing differently is I'm less focused on strength work, like actually getting bigger and stronger in the gym, and more focused on speed, because you realize at the next level, like, I've always been a faster guy, you know what I'm saying? But I've realized now is that everybody has burners at the next level, like from internationally. And I'm sure when I go to play arena, hopefully UFL, and obviously, trying to get to the NFL and the bigger leagues and stuff, everybody is faster. Like, there might not be as many, there's obviously bigger, stronger, and guys are bigger and stronger, but mostly focusing on the speed, getting back to the bread and butter, because, I was a track guy in high school too. So, just obviously staying on that track, staying flexible, working on my hip mobility, working on my hip extension, working on my stride length, because obviously I'm a shorter guy. I'm only about 5'10". So, working on all those different things to, give myself a little bit of an edge, because, you have to lean into your strengths. I'm obviously not the tallest guy, but, I have, God gifted me with athleticism. So trying to hone that athleticism, working on my speed, working on my lateral speed, my agility and stuff like that. Hip mobility, hip extension. So just to kind of give you an answer, is just mostly working on the speed, trying to stay faster, get faster, try to get into like that low 4.4 range, because that'll really make you pop at a pro day or a tryout. So, just trying to get faster, working on the hips, staying flexible. I haven't really been emphasizing the gym as much as I used to, but it's mostly now I've transitioned that into, track work, running hundreds, tempo runs, 60s, 200s, kind of getting back to like them high school workouts when I was running track for AAU, just, all that kind of track work, every day, tempo runs, speed stuff, all lifts with plyometrics and stuff. So really just trying to get faster, trying to just stand out at a tryout and stuff, because that 40 will get you paid. You know what I mean? That 40 will get you noticed. So really just trying to get faster.
You hear that, people? Guys that are trying to either get to college or get to that 40, will get you paid. Speaking of your former, your former school got wrong picture, but Hendricken got the win. Yesterday, got the first win of the season. So and I know you represent Rhode Island like crazy, more than just Bishop Hendricken. It's all of Rhode Island. What do you got to say to all your Rhode Island seniors out there trying to get to where you are?
Oh man, first off, congratulations to them, because, playing football at any level, is something to be proud of. So, congratulations to them. And, I want to shout out Hendricken and North Kingstown, because I don't know if you saw my Twitter, but I gave a speech at both schools actually before they played in August, before I left for the game in Canada. And I really just talked to them about, working hard and praying hard, because at the end of the day, high school football flies by in the blink of an eye. And, I would tell them to enjoy these days, work hard. And if you want to get to the next level, like I said, you just got to work extremely hard and meet God halfway. I know NK had a heavy loss with, their coach passing away in a tragic accident. And I told them that, try not to take a day off, because, I always put it in my mind is that, like I said, my grandfather's looking down on me. And if I slack in any type of way, he would be disappointed. So I told them that, work hard, obviously, rest and charge up. But at the end of the day, like, push a little harder because, I'm sure some people thought that they had tomorrow. I'm sure some people thought that, they would have extra time. Some people would be upset if you took a day off and slacked and everything like that. So I try to tell them, work hard, pray hard, and, just kind of push yourself every day and enjoy the days. Most of all, enjoy it because it flies by in the blink of an eye. Like, I feel like I was just at Hendricken yesterday, so now that, I'm out of high school, out of college, it's like, wow, like it flies by quick. So I would tell them to obviously work hard and, enjoy every day, take in the moment.
Yeah, no, definitely. Before you know it, you're 50 years old, time goes by really, really fast, so, but, nah, in North Kingstown, we did a podcast, a tribute to their coach when that happened. Horrible accident, and prayers goes out to his family. Middletown lost Coach Bell. Prayers goes out to his family. So it's a family. I think at the end of the day, high school football, what you learn from your coach. I'm sure you still have memories of what your high school, coaches taught you. And you went to URI, Cortland, then finishing off at UMass Darthmouth. So I'm sure you have a lot of experience with all those coaches.
Yeah, definitely. I've learned a lot and got a lot of gems from every school that I've been at. I've learned a lot at all three schools and been, blessed to play at 3 winning programs. So, it's just definitely learned a lot, and I have a lot of value, I feel like, to give to, the younger generation, which is why I've started, doing social media, promoting my brand and stuff like that, preaching a good message, preaching hard work, preaching, God and, strengthening your spirit. And, I've learned something from everywhere that I've been. So it's been a blessing to, play at 3 winning schools,
Right. And, Xavier Truss, a couple guys from your former school end up in the pros, where one day I'm sure you're hoping to get to. You have a message for Xavier?
Oh, congratulations to him. He reposted my thing a few weeks ago, about a month ago, when I was on What Up Brody. So, I've been showing him love, he's been showing me love. So, shout out to him, man. Congratulations, and I hope to see you there soon.
Shout out to you, and absolutely, Kyle. But I don't want to keep you, man. We're gonna have you back on soon. We're gonna get together, talk about some other stuff. Where can people find you on YouTube?
So they can find me on YouTube at CG Green or CG Exclusive. It pops up under both searches. You can find me on Instagram at Carl Green as an E at the end, _23. And yeah, man, I appreciate you having me on today. It's been a blessing, and I definitely can't wait to chop it up with you again soon. I've been kind of on the road and have some other things that I'm working on, but when we finally get together, it's gonna be legendary. So
I definitely want to talk about more serious shit in the future. Prayers up to Kevin Brown. I know he was a teammate of yours. Definitely prayers up to him. And everyone stay blessed.
Yeah, definitely, man. I prayers up to Kevin. Major love to Kevin, and Kevin was one of the best running backs that I've ever seen play. You know what I'm saying? Out all 3 schools, Kevin's an absolute dog on the field, great guy off the field. I actually knew him from when I was at URI when he was there, because him and I ran into each other and stuff through mutual friends and things like that. When I would go back to Rhode and see all my old boys and stuff like that after I left. So I've known Kevin for a while. Kevin's a great guy, great dude, and a better football player. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Kevin, major love to him, and speedy recovery to him, and shout out to URI too, all the stuff they got going on, man. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, man. Your former coach, Ryan McCormick, over there, shout out to Ryan. Maybe when you get to go over there, tell him we said what's up. Great guy. I think he's well deserving of a Division I job. Not everybody can get that D1 job. So congratulations to probably the hottest working recruiter in college football.
Definitely.
All right, man. We'll talk to you soon, Kyle.
All right, Mike. I appreciate you having me on today, man. Stay blessed.
All right, one. All right, Kyle Green, former UMass Darthmouth, played at Bishop Hendricken, went to URI, was on a team with Kevin Brown. Like we said, prayers up to Kevin Brown. Suffered a horrible motorcycle accident. Hope Hope he recovers well. Big speedy recovery. But it was nice to have Kyle Green on the show once again, and we're gonna chop it up with Kyle very, very soon. Appreciate everything. That was brought to you by Home Smart Professionals. That episode with Kyle Green. So shout out to Home Smart Professionals. Appreciate everything that a lot of these people do to help us out on the podcast to keep this going. But yeah, so before Kyle Green joined us, we talked a little bit about Rhode Island High School football, and what we have going on. So much is going on. It's so what do we think about the injury fund games and schools playing out of state? Is that going to be something that more teams are going to say, wait a minute, maybe I should go play out of state, get the jump on week, on the first week, but yeah, so you have Westerly and Situate, a good game. But the first game we had was what? Coventry, Cranston West. The final score was 35-12, in favor of Cranston West. I'm sure I think Coventry is in a rebuilding mode, and it might take a couple years before Coventry, if they stick with Coach Gervasini, it's going to take a little bit of time before I think Coventry can rebuild their program. Last season, they started off like 80 players, ended with like 25, just guessing at numbers. But what a performance by Cranston West. Coventry started with Jones behind on the center, but it was Cranston West that definitely came out strong, dominated the game right from the start. Their offense, was definitely firing on all cylinders. And they managed to keep Coventry's defense on its heels all night. Coventry struggled to find a rhythm, and that's something that I think Coventry is going to have to they're going to have to figure out. They couldn't capitalize on any opportunities. So maybe they'll regroup before week one. Again, this was a injury fund game. This was just a game so coaches can see where they are at with different players. So I'm sure Coach Linus is going to figure a way out to find a rhythm, before his first game, I think on September 12th. Well, they do play St. Ray's, so that's going to be a tough game for Coventry. You had LaSalle Academy faced off against Boston College High School. What a matchup that was. Was the final score 22-15. LaSalle is going to continue their winning streak, finishing with that beautiful score. Former NFL coach over there, Nadeem Robinson over there helping out doing his thing with the wide receivers. Some say this was a nail-biter game, but LaSalle's defense ended up stepping up at the last minute for what my people are telling me in the second half, holding off Boston College High School attempt to rally any kind of comeback. So let's not forget about the standout performances from the key players that LaSalle has, man. Quarterback showing up. I believe that the kid, what is his name? Perry. He's the son of the Brown University, a head coach. So another thrilling game, right? Westerly put up a strong fight against not Situate Spartans, Massachusetts Situate Sailors, who is a very, very outstanding program. Very, very good team, high caliber Division I opponent. If Westerly would have won that game, they would have got what's called Super Division points. It's like playing a Super Division I program, so you would have ended up with 16 points. That would be like winning 4 divisional games. Westerly would have started, and teams in Division II don't start till next week, and they're already 4 games up on y'all. But it didn't turn out that way, so Westerly gets to collect opponent win percentage throughout the season from LaSalle Sailors. That's the benefit you get playing these upper caliber teams. If you lose, you're still getting points in the back end. So I was just excited to see all these teams come together. The competition was definitely heating up. If I was on all them social media platforms, but yeah, that was definitely hell of a matchup, man. Charahoe, EWG, two teams. It was hard to pick a winner in this game. One second. Okay. Yeah, it was very hard to pick a winner. So moving on to these games, North Smithfield facing off against Ponagansett. The final score, Ponagansett 14, North Smithfield 6. I mean, Coach Piper, you got to do a little more. I know it's an injury fun game. It's not about win or losing, but Coach Piper definitely has a hell of a squad over there at North Smithfield. A lot of returning players, so I'm sure before week 1 comes along, they're going to get that all figured out. Charahoe, man, surprising Coach Slammer over there. Is Coach Slammer still over at Charahoe? Facing off against EWG. EWG could not, seem to figure it out. Ponagansett, I'm sorry. Charahoe just showed some grit, came out on top. So looking ahead, what do we think? Yeah, Charahoe and Ponagansett as they continue the season as we look into week 1. I mean, it's a matter to be seen, right? See how the season goes on. But Charahoe definitely riding high after that win. It'll be interesting to see if they could even maintain. And what's going on with the Charahoe youth program? I understand that they can no longer use the Charahoe facilities to play their games. And that's crazy. Your feeder program cannot use your facility. But I think Westerly High School stepped up and said, you know what, Charahoe Cowboys, you can come over here and you can use our field. If I got it wrong, just let me know, but yeah, shout out to those programs, and we'll see what Pono continues to do, being, winning the Super Bowl last season. Yeah, we'll definitely see. Let me get some other games up here. Pilgrim, shout out to Blake Simpson over there. I didn't get a chance to get a recap of this game, but Pilgrim playing Seekonk, getting a win on that, so getting a head start in the division. We already got them games. But we appreciate Kyle Green joining us. 1 second, Ryan. Hold on. We appreciate Kyle Green joining us. He's going to be back on. We're going to talk some stuff. But appreciate everybody. Thanks, Cliff Fulton, for joining us, man. Shout out to all the people that help us make this possible. Home Smart Professionals. We'll be back.
That's the bad guy. Bad guy. Bad guy. That's the bad guy. The bad guy.